One kind of assignment that we will have quite frequently in this class is that of interpreting a quotation, perhaps a passage of Scripture. So let's talk about the best technique to do this kind of interpretation. This approach is called hermeneutics, the interpretation especially of texts like Scripture. Many times, a preacher will give a sermon, which is essentially an exegesis, an attempt to interpret a passage of Scripture so that the most relevant possible interpretation is given. One of the things that you can do at the beginning is to paraphrase for clarity. Now, this is a great starting point to put it in your own words and say what it means, but that's not sufficient. Don't stop there. If you do, you probably won't do better than a grade of 7 on your post. Another thing that you really have to do is look at some of the terminology or phrasing and clarify any ambiguities, any vagueness, any possible double interpretations that might exist. One way to do this is to sort of shift the frame and clarify in that sense. Of course, when you do paraphrase and clarify, avoid any of the terms forbidden by your writing rules. But in order to really achieve clarity, you've got to focus on context. Consider the 5 W's. Who said it? What audience was being addressed? When was it said? Where was it said? And why was this statement made? In other words, the context requires you to consider the author, the person who said it, the audience to whom it was addressed, when and where the statement was made, and the why, the purpose for which the statement was made. And of course, as in all writing for this class, make sure that you use the apostrophe correctly for possessives, not for mere pluralization. And remember, one person is not a they, a them, or a there. And always tie the quotation back to the topic under consideration. Those are the keys to effective interpretation.